him. And in the bottom right-hand side, our red Terran player is HeRoMaRiNE.
And on the top left-hand side of the map, it is the blue Protoss player, MaxPax, precise term. And yeah, I mean, and the evolution that we've seen from Big Gabe as well. Like just recently, he played this match against Lambo, and he just had a different opening. Just yesterday, actually, he had a decent opening in every game, and it was so cool. I mean, we'll talk about this in a second here.
Yeah, as we do have that proxy coming up, of course, from MaxPax already wanting to be a little bit aggressive to get things started. That's not a surprise. I think we know that MaxPax is the one that probably wants to try and get in there earlier. The earlier the better, because it feels like once HeRoMaRiNE gets to that mid game, it just feels like a lot of what MaxPax tries to do there is frequently turned around and isn't able to get any momentum going. So it makes sense that he's trying something very aggressive very quickly.
Yeah, and here's one of those situations where I can't quite pin down HeRoMaRiNE, especially at the stage at which he is adding his career, where he's kind of like more flexible and kind of open. Like I've seen him say on his stream a lot of times that he likes facing kind of weird openings. Like he likes problem solving on the go, basically, right? Like whereas I would have thought by default he is a very structured player, right? Like he is the type of player that likes going to the macro game, that likes hitting his timings, that likes the macro, that likes the cycles. But he's rather good at creative problem solving as well. So let's see how he solves this one. It's gonna be a difficult one.
Yeah, as he does scout at least, so he'll be able to note that, hey, there's a gateway missing. That means he can obviously respond at home and decide exactly what he wants to do. We'll see. The main question usually here is whether he tries to keep that natural alive or if he's just going to let it get cancelled. Because the sooner you cancel it and rebuild it, the better. But obviously, if you then don't cancel it and you try and keep it going, but it does get denied eventually, the worse it is for you. So sometimes people against this will just immediately cancel, build it again on the high ground, simplify the defense. Right now, he's going to deal with this first zealot very easily, kills it off no issue. And he will look to start getting a bunker down on the low ground.
Beautiful micros. Well, he has lost nothing so far. One SCV could have gone down, but potentially if MaxPax went for it. But MaxPax, I mean, he's been trying to catch the SCV's building. HeRoMaRiNE too fast to react. And every second the Zealot loses, it has less and less chance of doing damage. That said, he does pick off one of the SCVs exposed at the bunker there, and now the Stalker is going to have potentially easy pickings here as the bunker is not going to go up yet. So mission accomplished in a certain sense for MaxPax. HeRoMaRiNE is kind of just battling out here, making sure that his bunker go up for the next few units or the next unit to pop up. But with the reactor going up, this Reaper was actually pretty crucial to save. Oh, he had one more Marine.
Yeah, he's got the bunker filling up with a couple of things at the very least. I was just going to see now. You can't really do much more here as MaxPax, as he has added on an extra gateway, by the way. So he really is on the way towards maybe being, further aggressive here in the near future. I mean, there's another gateway as well. So he's really looking to bring the herd on HeRoMaRiNE very quickly.
Yeah, unfortunately for MaxPax already, his opening not really producing the results that he would have liked. He would have liked to delay at least that CC for a little bit longer, or like you were saying, in the best case scenario, force a cancel. That would have been wonderful for him, but not the case. And now he has this gateway exposed. So he's going to try to be consistent with it. And he says, if I already have a gateway out there, I might as well use it for the quick warp in. So he's going to go and try to pile up on that aggression. And Adept is going to try to do some economic damage. But, oh, okay. We'll drag the Marines out of the bunker as well. So that is actually pretty decent for MaxPax here. At the same time, HeRoMaRiNE on the counter offense will find 4 probes. Not ideal.
Yeah, I mean, this is just getting so much done. 6 workers going down on the other side. The map is obviously pretty crazy. That's a pretty big deal for sure. As finally we get the Stalker clearing this out. Yeah, I mean, 6 probes though. I mean, it's going to be rough because now, your tech is late because you're prioritizing gateways initially. You don't have a good economy, so you're really, really in need of dealing some damage here. And it's never good to be kind of super hard-pressed into having to get the damage done, right?
Yeah, especially when HeRoMaRiNE is aware of what you can do here, what the range of options that you have. So he's already making a tank, already has that bunker in a pretty safe position. These are not Blink Stalkers, so the SCVs are going to have a little bit of a heads up to come and repair. And HeRoMaRiNE confident enough, but maybe overly so. He doesn't pull a lot of SCVs, but just in time, he's going to have enough at the same time.
No.
He's also going to get a mine off 2 of them. Decent target firing, but they actually overlap onto the same probe and only killed 2. Wow.
Yeah, that was a mistake. Obviously, there was so much potential. There's still a lot of workers just stacked on the bottom side of that mineral line as well. So, yeah, that's kind of that's a real missed opportunity. Actually, that's surprising to say the least.
Yeah, I mean, HeRoMaRinE, I can see the cogs kind of turning there, right? Like he sees the probes running away. He says, if I let the mine go off, it'll kill like 1 or 2 probes of those running away. So I'll just click on center mass. But center mass was exactly where the other mine was going, and somehow, some way, both mines kind of hit the same spot. And there's only 2 probes there. I mean, yeah, I saw like 2 probes killed. I was like, what? That's got to be wrong. But obviously, it isn't.
I honestly, I was just surprised that those 2 pros like right on top of each other. The widow mines like went right on top of each other as well. Like it's very rare you see the both widow mines hit the exact same place. It's actually a very unnatural thing to happen.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on. Maybe HeRoMaRinE a little bit unfortunate there, but altogether, as a few stalkers come to the front, well, that bunker's going to turn those stalkers around. You've got charge coming up. MaxPax is still being dropped by further widow mines, and these are going to get blinked away from. So you kill a couple probes. The medevac's still alive. Oh, that's obviously fantastic. Anytime that medevac's staying alive after drops like this, you're pretty happy about it.
Yeah, and MaxPax with a very interesting approach, taking a third in spite of all of this map control that he has gained. Like, the potential for aggression has been there, and HeRoMaRinE has been aware, so he's been making a lot of defense. He doesn't really have a third CC, and that's gonna make it so that HeRoMaRinE is actually gonna have to go on offense, and if he isn't able to outright kill or do a lot of damage on the other side of the map, he will be in a very difficult position. The Stalker's well positioned here to delay that attack with the blink as well. It's gonna be a powerful punch, kind of trademark HeRoMaRinE as well. But the Dane kind of has some chances here. Ooh.
Yeah, and he shuts down that medevac finally that was trying to get home. For now, HeRoMaRine's just going to try and get rid of this gateway on the map, shut down counters a little bit more easily. The Stalkers feel like there's maybe potential, but yeah, the reinforcements are just moving forward for HeRoMaRinE. Now he sees that Observer, and he's going to stim a few Marines for it. It's a nice catch as well. And if he can get across the map, because he's got units on the top side intercepting, MaxPax is going to lose a bunch of Stalkers here still, as these Marines will chase. Oh no, I mean, now can you even hold back at home? Because
no
just
chance.
lost so much. No chance.
This is gonna be so difficult. There's not even a sentry here that I see. There's one Colossus. It's gonna get scanned. I mean, it can disable. It can. There's some sentries now. It can be disabled twice. So it's gonna be extremely difficult here for MaxPax. HeRoMaRinE is just gonna charge on forward, and yeah, Wardy, I think there's absolutely no chance here that we see the Dane holding. This should be it.
Yeah, the tanks didn't even siege for a long time, right? They were just like, oh yeah, we can just click forward as well. And I love that obviously just keeps going forward there. He gets rid of those batteries, just making sure there's absolutely no way. And there is the Colossus being chased back just a little further. The Nexus does go down, but that is going to do it. And HeRoMaRinE, a very confident team, number 1.
Yeah, I mean, beautiful escorting his own movement out of his base by sieging those tanks, right? He thinks MaxPax is likely to try to cut reinforcements, and MaxPax had to try to cut reinforcements, right? Like, that's the only way that he wins, is if he shoves off some of the army before it actually gets to his side of the map. But instead he blinks or tries to blink on forward, tries to catch a tank onto a siege tank already, so take some damage there. Then the Marines actually flank him. Just absolutely nasty by Big Gabe to be so cognizant of what MaxPax needed to do in order to stand a chance, and instead he gets the advantages in those scenarios.
Absolutely. Well, we'll just go straight to game number 2. This is what I mean, you know, MaxPax likes to try and open a bit different. He likes to try and take control. The HeRoMaRine's so solid against that stuff, so you can't throw him off. Then he's really good in that mid game. He knows exactly how to punish someone who's a little bit behind. It's really brutal, and I love that move as well. Like, these Stalkers almost forgot there were some Marines further up, right? And some army already further out on the map, and so they get caught. Yeah, absolutely brutal. HeRoMaRinE just very good with his army movement, very smooth, taking advantage of it straight away. That's the sort of stuff you need to do here to, well, just get clean, easy victories. And yeah, again, that's just what HeRoMaRinE does so much against MaxPax. It's genuinely impressive how often he can make the games look like this.
Yeah. And again, to finish the point that I was trying to start to make at the start, I mean, against Lambo, he was just doing everything. I talked to Lambo after, and I was like, I mean, those were pretty cool openings. So, and I mean, Lambo was like, those were really cool openings. Yeah, like, and that's not something that, you know, Lambo's usually like, no, I messed up, or, you know, there was something or something that I could have done much better, and like I knew it. But no, he gave credit to HeRoMaRinE, because when HeRoMaRinE is starting to mix it up, and starting to kind of show that range that he can be aggressive and he can play the mid game and the late game and the early game well and take risks, he is just terrifying. His future is bright as it could be.
All right, well, up 1-0 in the top right-hand corner, looking fantastic in this first game. Let's see if you can keep it up for map 2. It's HeRoMaRiNE.
In the bottom left-hand side, the Great Dane. It is MaxPax. The Great Little Dane.
The Great Little Dane. Well, Gateway's in his base this time at least, so that is something.
That is something indeed. We'll actually check for proxies here. So, again, giving credit to perhaps the newfound range of HeRoMaRiNE here. He's really capable of anything these days. So MaxPax is just checking to make sure that there's nothing funky going on. Usually you would expect the opposite to be happening, but big game,
I can
man.
appreciate it though, right? Like, HeRoMaRiNE gets up 1-0. It's not unheard of for him to like just proxy gate racks and go like one Reaper or so. So it's nice. I like it. I don't think I'd be shocked if HeRoMaRiNE dropped like the double like racks proxy for Marines. Like a single racks into Reaper, something you can transition out of very easily at home most of the time, no matter what. You know, it's almost a macro opening anyways, even though if it is a little proxy. There's yes, that's everyone frozen up. Oh no, our observer's disconnecting.
Our observer?
Oh,
that would be really bad.
Yeah, that would be very unfortunate. Looks as though, well, okay, we're moving again. It looks like we're alive.
That's good. And our observer, I think, is in studio, right? So that would be that would be really bad if our observer is disconnecting. Yeah.
I imagine if the stream is still live, then it's probably a case of StarCraft 2 just froze up for a moment or two, which can happen every now and again.
It seemed that way. I got the same exact screen here, so yeah, maybe it was StarCraft 2 indeed. But yeah, I mean, pretty normal openings otherwise. Lovely SimCity here from MaxPax. He can complete it in the back there. Should there be some Reaper harassment, perhaps, with his next tech building. And yeah, for the time being, nothing too special, I think.
Yep. Let's just get our factory underway. And just going to be seeing our bunker coming down. Everything's looking pretty peaceful for the start here.
Yeah. I suppose somewhat noteworthy is the timing of the gas from HeRoMaRiNE, just taking a second gas now. So he's not going to be rich in terms of gas, prioritizing a little bit of that mineral income instead. So maybe that hints in terms of like what he can do here. Maybe something like a Hellion drop. I'm not sure if scouting this SimCity is going to give him confidence that that is the right play. I don't see anything that should make him rethink that if that was his plan.
Yeah, it's a nice little attempt to save an SCV or so, jumping into the CC before you morph into the orbital. As our Twilight Council will be done in a few moments from MaxPax, so you'll have the option attack from there. Obviously, Blink, very common way to play this. You know, I'm happy that we just get a bit more of a full-on standard opening, right? And, you know, we maybe get to see at least MaxPax have a chance at like a proper mid-game without just being kind of behind off the start. I feel like that could maybe give us a cool bit of something to see what MaxPax's plan is, you know, when HeRoMaRiNE doesn't just get off to again a start, which is unstoppable.
Yeah, and HeRoMaRiNE actually letting the Adept shade on through, so MaxPax with potential here to do a little bit. Targeting the transiting SCV is actually going to make it so that he isn't able to delay that starport and isn't able to get either kill onto the SCV. So he will get a scout for his troubles, but not really finding any damage.
Yeah, probably wanted a little bit more there, realistically, as a Reaper comes in. It's looking for further info and is going to drop a grenade to try and get itself out alive, but it just didn't quite get the Stalker go in the right direction. Otherwise, it might have been possible.
Yeah, and MaxPax once again going for the Blink opening, this time, like you were saying, from a better position, but still kind of falling into his own patterns, right? Like where he is going for that same type of strategy, maybe just what he feels comfortable with, but maybe also something that HeRoMaRiNE knows how to exploit.
Yeah, that is the worry, right? It's like this is something that HeRoMaRiNE has played against a lot of times before, and this really is MaxPax-esque as well, with the 4 gateways coming through. So this isn't just a faster third or anything. This is, hey, I'm going to get in your face and deal some pressure. I honestly don't really think I like it, if I'm going to be quite frank with you. Yeah, I'm not a major fan. I feel like it's just a little bit too obvious, you know?
Yeah, the second tank is coming up. The map is good for it. I mean, he opened Blink last time, and I feel like he opens Blink regularly in the matchup. And HeRoMaRinE, we know him to be a very strong defensive player and a player that is not shy to stay on 2 CCs for very long in this particular matchup as well. And we're seeing exactly that. His production is going to be situated. And MaxPax, while he is taking a third, he's still very much hoping to do some damage with this.
Yep. It's like that weird mix from MaxPax, right? Where he's like, yes, I'm going to take my expansion, but I'm also on like the 4 gates. Like I can pressure a lot here. So you definitely get a few different options. Let's just see our Bay Forge charge, all the good stuff coming up. I mean, if you hit now as HeRoMaRinE, right? Like there's so much tech on the way from MaxPax. His third wasn't exactly quick, right? Like it's actually just not a good time for MaxPax to be kind of on, being attacked at all. The Prism gets pushed away a little bit too. MaxPax will have to be cautious with that, but HeRoMaRine's going to get across the map pretty comfortably, it seems.
Yeah, and that's very interesting because MaxPax got a lot of his gateways situated already, but he hasn't been producing units. I expected that he would try to do something, but then he actually drops so much tech behind this, and HeRoMaRinE just says, hey, why aren't you here? You haven't been attacking me. My tanks were sieged. I was ready for something. But in MaxPax not showing up, HeRoMaRinE is instead going to go across, and he's going to find a mostly undefended MaxPax. Charge is almost done, but HeRoMaRinE is already thinking about making additional chokes and setting up some bunkers here, so looking decent to start things off. Good position.
Yep, just getting everything siege. Pylons are going down, and we've got ourselves this Nexus in some serious trouble. Stalkers have just blinked up to the north, so it looks as though they want to cut off reinforcements, a few of them. But I don't mind that idea. It's definitely the right idea, because obviously fighting into this head on and letting stuff reinforce is just, it's only going to be disastrous for you, right? So I can appreciate the idea, but it just feels like a difficult task. That disruptor shot gets an SUV, but not really too much else. It's not exactly ideal still, and that's kind of a big part of the problem here. Is just have you seen the tank fire? It's doing loads.
Oh my god, why is that Nexus still alive? I feel like the shield battery could at least be targeting that Nexus, and then you get the cleanup on collapse. If you save the Nexus and get the collapse and cleanup, maybe you are in a good position, but with the Nexus falling, I feel like that's what HeRoMaRinE came for, and he's got to be happy with that. I mean, the reinforcements do end up getting cut by MaxPax, and that was a beautiful move, especially utilizing the Warp Prism there. But HeRoMaRinE can't be too sad about this.
Killing the third base is absolutely a success story, and that's the problem for MaxPax. Like, the collapse in on it was obviously good. It was a decent setup, I would say. I just feel as though there was definitely meant to be a save on the third. I mean, the battery, like you say, was kind of in play too, and it could have healed the Nexus. The only issue with that is if you start healing the Nexus, you won't stop healing the Nexus, right? Because it's going to take a long time to heal fully. And if you don't stop healing the Nexus, maybe your army then needs the shield battery back. I mean, it's tough, right? Like, it's one of those decisions. I mean, I think saving the Nexus is probably worth it, though, because otherwise you're just dead anyway.
Yeah, I think so. And I mean, if you were going to collapse, the battery was going to be out of range of your army anyway, and all of the army already had the full shield sitting back. So maybe just not clicking on it or thinking that he did, or something of the sorts, or not seeing how low it was. But now it's HeRoMaRinE on the offense once again. Disruptors are going to have something to say about that. But the first one completely whiffing. The second one center mass of the bio, but HeRoMaRinE with beautiful focus fire will take it down. And with that, I think he might have done it. GG is cold. And HeRoMaRinE